Well, that's our cue. Welcome everybody to Launch Lab. We do this every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Aaron Cadillo, along with Alex Sabatelli-Reger and my wife, Melissa Cadillo. Just to give you guys just an overview, I know a lot of you guys have been here before, some of you are new. The purpose of this call is really to help build a community and help people get to manager statuses and team manager as quickly as possible, help you get your questions answered, and really give you access to both Alex and Melissa that just have a huge knowledge on this. And Alex has been doing this for close to 2.5 years now, and Melissa herself has been doing it for close to 6 months now. So they both have a lot of knowledge and insight, and just really want to share that with you. So even if you're not directly on one of their teams, don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask any questions outside of this also, because it's really important that you get your questions answered. And anything that you guys need and you're not getting from the Facebook group, this is where you can ask these questions live. So just give you a quick overview of how the call works. We usually have a topic that we like to cover within the first 10-15 minutes. And tonight, what we're going to talk about is basically, what does it look like to be qualified as a team manager? There's a lot of questions that come on this, and we've covered a lot, but it just kind of keeps on coming up because there's new people coming, and we just really want to make sure people understand that, because if you understand how to get qualified, you'll get there even quicker, right? And learn from some mistakes that people have done before, and just make the process a lot seamless. And then we're going to actually just dive in quickly to, it was one of the questions, but Melissa's going to talk a little bit about social media and just how she does that process. And then for you guys, anybody that's on the call right now, I'm really going to challenge you guys to jump into the chat and just be active. Please, if you're on this call, for every single one of you who's on this call, Mark, Jane, Elan,
Calling you out.
everybody, please, collaborate with us. Ask us a question. By you guys asking questions, it's going to actually entice other people to ask questions, because they're thinking the same things that you guys are thinking, and have some hesitation around things, or just you're here to learn. So use this opportunity to really kind of tap into Melissa and Alex. So please, I challenge you, well, as we go through this call, to add in some questions. We have questions from last week, but we want to really answer those questions for those that are on this call right now. Okay, so why don't we jump into it? And I'm just going to pull up our fancy whiteboard.
Yay.
And then I'll let Alex kind of jump in here, and then just start talking about what it means to be qualified. Here,
Be qualified manager. Yeah, beautiful.
Exactly. So let me make this a little bit bigger for everybody. Can we all see this?
We can see it. Looks great.
Perfect. Okay.
Awesome.
Over to you.
We have other people on there too. Is that so cool?
We have other people, so
fun.
it is interactive, but
interactive.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's just talk about what does it take to get to manager real quickly. And you'll see this beautiful example right here. You've been sponsored. You've either been put on your sponsor's right leg or their left leg. In this case here, you've been put on a right leg of the sponsor, the person who brought you in, and you have your own right leg and left leg. And so to get to manager is to personally sponsor 2 silvers on your right leg and 2 silvers on your left leg. Silver, the 3-pack, it's $2.99. You get 3 sleeves when you order. We got a little background noise. So that's what it takes to get to manager. Now, what does it mean to be manager? It basically means you're now qualified to be able to make more than $50 a week in cycle bonuses. And the cycle bonuses are generated when you accumulate 330 points on your right team or left team, and 660 points on the opposite team. So you've got your two teams, and you have accumulating points that will happen so long as you maintain qualification. And qualification is what we're talking about here. And what does it mean to maintain qualification? And to keep your silvers qualifying so that you can maintain your manager status. Because in order to maintain your manager status, your 2 silvers active or above need to be active as well. So what it means to be active is to have at least 55 points in your personal business center and anyone else's. So 55 points or more is what will keep you active. It doesn't maximize the marketing plan, but it will keep you active. Now, as a manager, to maintain active status, you actually need 110 points to maintain. You can still be active, but you won't be a manager anymore. You'll drop out of manager status if you're no longer qualifying at 110 points yourself. So what's 110 points? 110 points would equate to 77 points for a sleeve of X39 or X49, or two of them would be obviously times two. Or you could do one sleeve of X39 and one sleeve of X49, two sleeves of X39 or X49, or a combination of X39 or 49 and one of the other products. The other thing that can work is if you get a maintenance kit, where you would go under your store in your back office and drop down to maintenance kits and select a kit that allows you to have 110 points dropped into your basically your business center each month for whatever that maintenance kit says. There's a preferred one, which is a 6-month qualifying maintenance kit that gives you 110 points for 6 months in a row. And you're buying 9 sleeves of X39 at the best pricing. You're getting them for $84, 83 and change or something per sleeve. It's the best kit we have. So if you can invest in that, you're getting the best deal. You have enough product for yourself and enough to sample or to sell from your stock. And again, you'll be maintaining that qualification at 110 points for 6 months. That's a lot of information, but that's what it means for you to stay qualified as a manager. But also the 2 silvers or above on each side need to have at least 55 points generating every single month also. So this is why, and I brought this concept up before, I think it's such a great plan for you to decide for yourself, how many silvers do I want to bring in each month? If you're moving towards director, and that which would be leadership lab, by the way, to get more further training there. But if you know in your mind right now or in your heart that you want to continue to build, you want to touch more people, you want to grow a team, and you want to start to make some cycle bonuses and make some more money, which you are 100% entitled to, and you should want to, because it's just a reward. It's giving and receiving. It should come back. In order to, okay, wait, I've just lost my little point there. Oh, right. So the idea of how many silvers do I want to bring in each month? I say aim for obviously what's comfortable for you, but even 1 a week, 2 a week, right? So if you're constantly bringing in more silvers and above, and you're bringing them in, even with a 3-pack, they may not be ready for that auto ship right away in 28 days, and that's okay. You can have it hit later, but if you're bringing more in, you will maintain that status. And then in a couple of months, that auto ship will kick in, and then you'll start to accumulate more, and then the next person's auto ship will kick in the next month or what have you. So each week you'll have more people coming back into qualification over time if you're just continuously bringing more people in. And then some of them are going to get a vision, some of them won't, and that's okay. You just keep moving, keep going. And before you know it, you're going to end up having some people that really activate on either side. And then you can start really looking at what does director look like. So without going into that right now, that's kind of my philosophy is aim for whatever you feel according to your daily method and how much time you put into it, and getting better and better at it to bring as many people in as possible each month.
Nice. I apologize there. I don't know why the whiteboard kept on dropping
It's okay.
off.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I
more
think
than
we-
happy to share the visual from Quantum Field if you want.
Yeah, that would be great because
Yeah.
I think
Let me do that. Let me just make it a little bit larger, and I'll just share. I'll just go ahead and share screen with that. Hold on. I don't need it to be the entire. Here we go. Let's do this right here. Just that one page. Yeah, this one here. Okay. Oops, that's not the one. That didn't work. Hold on. Stop share. Stop share. That didn't work at all. Well, please. This is the one I want to share. Desktop, this one. Got it. Okay, here we go. So I wanted to just share from Quantum Field, from our team site, build331.com. This is under step 8, the compensation plan. And you'll see on this little section right here, the 4 ways to earn commissions. You'll see the point values of each of the kits. Here is the visual right here in the middle. Let me make that a little bigger still. So you can see there's you, This is actually showing more than a manager. This is showing a bit more, a little bit, but you've got 2 silvers and 2 silvers, or just something to this effect. Here they're showing, yeah, just a little bit more than that, but nonetheless, active personally sponsored is what you're looking for, 2 on each side. It says it right here: to be binary qualified, be active, minimum 55 PV. That's just to be binary qualified, but that will max at $50 a week until you get to manager and maintain manager, and then you can make much more. As a manager, you can make $1,500 a week when you're qualifying as a manager and you have the points in the binary. So,
And just to be clear, Alex, to be binary qualified, what does that mean again?
one on the left and one on the right.
Yeah. Okay.
At least one person, see number 2 here, it says have at least one personally sponsored active distributor on each leg. That's bronze or above. That will actively qualify you. Of course, you won't have enough points to cycle with just one bronze on the other side. It would take a while for that to add up. However, you would still be binary qualified, and you might be lucky to have more volume coming in on that team leg that that you were put on by your sponsor. If there's activity happening there, you might have some bonus people put underneath you, and those points will be feeding into your bucket on that leg, so long as you're qualified. So you don't want to drop out of qualification because you'll empty out those buckets of points.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know if you just say there, I know we've talked about it before. How do you determine where you're going to put people on? And we talked about this kind of before, but if
Yeah.
your sponsor is very active, the people above them are very active, they're feeding you, do you kind of have a bit of a game plan, or do you
I do.
Yeah.
I have a game plan when you're getting started, and definitely for this call is when you get started and you start putting people in, you want to put your first 2 people in on the shared team leg, the same leg that your sponsor put you on. You want to ask your sponsor, which leg am I on of yours? That you should know that. It's important. Am I on your left leg or your right leg? You find that out. And then you want to drop your first 2 personally sponsored on the team leg. Why? Because if you decide not to do the business, or you drop out down the road, or what have you, you want those first 2 people that come in to be on a leg where there's more people coming in to support them. They won't get kind of stranded on your personal leg if you should decide not to do it. Some people come in really excited, but they don't have the success, and then they kind of quit. And unfortunately, that does happen. So in those cases, that's where we really want to also support that team leg. So there's always new activity happening when people bring in new people, so that you really feel that momentum. It's exciting, and you might really build vision for those first 2 people you bring in as well, because they're going to see the activity happening underneath them. So that's a lot of philosophy why you want to put those first 2 to anchor in on that team leg. Then you go ahead and put the 2 on the inside, and then just toggle back and forth. Always, you want to build 2 full teams. You don't want to just try to ride on a team leg. If you have a really active team leg, you still want to, at the very least, you're going to need to have, in order to continue on the marketing plan, you're going to have managers on both sides. You're going to have directors and so on. So you really do want to, until you have a really solid organization, I would suggest that you really aim for 10 and 10 as a really big goal, 10 and 10 on either leg. And then you've got a nice solid, team leg going, and then you can put more of your focus on that inside leg. I think that's pretty much the way I work it.
Yeah. Jane asked this question. Will the sponsor put people on both legs eventually? And I'm just wondering if she thinks that your sponsor is going to put people on both sides. And that's the way I kind of read it, but maybe
I understand. She can maybe clarify that, but no, you always only are building your own outside left or outside right, bottom out. So when you navigate in your enroller tree to place somebody, you're going to either go to bottom right, and then you'll see it'll pull up that bottom right position, and then you'll have a left and right option, and you want to stay on that right to use that box. If you navigate to the bottom left, you'll get the 2 positions that are open. You stay to the bottom left. Why also is because we only build 2 legs. We don't build in other legs also. And if you personally are sponsoring on somebody else's inside leg, again, if that sponsor is no longer there, they're not getting the direct support from your own teams. So you only are ever building on your own. And then it also keeps the marketing plan very fair, because if you're not growing your own leg of your own and you're tapping into, all this extra points and money that you're not really earning, it's just not a fair, integrous way to build your business. It's you will grow as you learn more and as you become better and better. And that inside leg is really kind of that they call it your pay leg. And so that's the one that is personally your own.
Right. And then, so once you get the two people on the outside leg, are you then focusing on putting the majority of people that you're bringing in on your inside then?
Like I was saying, I try to aim for, like a solid 2 solid legs of my own,
Yeah.
personally sponsored, maybe 10 on each side,
Yeah.
even 5 on each side. Just so that in case somebody drops out, you're never worried about falling out of your own structure.
Yeah.
And then you can focus a little bit more. You might do 2 on your personal leg, and then 1 on the outside, and then 2 on your personal and 1 on the
Yeah.
outside, just so you can start making money sooner.
Right.
Until you get to, a good solid 10 on that team leg. And
Yeah.
again, that also is goodwill for the team leg, right? So, so it supports, all the others that are there to support as well. So,
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
all right, I'm gonna stop share on this.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
Great.
Next.
As we're still here, just did anybody else have any questions about the tree with Alex while we're here?
Yeah, good question.
Real quick. If not, we're just going to move on to topic that a couple of people have been asking about. Just how does specifically Melissa, because she does a lot with social media. Maybe Melissa, you can just share with people, one, what's your philosophy of talking to people through social media? Talk to them maybe about the new page that she set up specifically, and how do you keep everything kind of organized? I know you and I have talked quite a bit about there's so many tools now, even with AI. I think it might even be worth us doing a segment on one of our next calls, talking just about some of the tools that you guys can use. But maybe Melissa, you can just kind of talk about your methodology and how you connect with people through social media.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am hoping this stays strong. The connection has been dropping a little bit. Okay. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Hi. So yeah, I do like to play in the realm of social media. I think it's a powerful tool. However, I'll start and say that I personally haven't really used AI. I know Aaron is definitely more of the one knowledgeable about that, and he's going to teach me something. So yeah, I think there could be some positive ways to use AI with social media. I haven't done that yet, so I can share my philosophy is, and I've had a love-hate relationship with social media for so many years, and I finally just changed my frame around it. And you can really curate your experience. I mainly use Instagram. I also have a Facebook page, but curate your experience and just limit the time that you're on there, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And use it for educational purposes and to also connect and meet people. I've met so many people from around the world online, and I've actually have met them on my travels. So it's a powerful, amazing tool to maybe just reframe the perspective if you have a bit of like social media. But also if you really do feel that, then maybe it's not for you. So, but if it's more of like I'm curious and I want to try, then yeah, there's ways to play with it in a healthy way. So I don't have a huge following, and yet it's still very powerful for me. You don't need a huge following. You just need to be yourself, to be authentic, because we are, I mean, for those that understand this language, we are going through an awakening. We are becoming more and more conscious, which means more and more people are sensitive and more in tune with energetics. And if you're being manipulative or you're not being yourself, people are going to feel and sense that, yes, even through the screen and through social media, through your pictures, through everything. So be yourself is my first tip and philosophy, and share yourself. I now look at social media and Instagram as like my daily routine, just like I brush my teeth every day. I'm on there sharing, and I'm not just blasting about the patches all day long. I'm sharing, I also teach yoga, so I just share my interests, my passions more around the realm of growth, memes, funny things, like just letting people kind of get to know me. And then I weave in a bit of the patches on my personal page. Now, I have shifted. Aaron mentioned I did start another Instagram page that is just for X39. It's called Activate Your Light X39. Feel free to go on there and use the content that I'm creating on there. It's for us, it's for all of us. And so I think Ilana asked me this question and I answered it last time. Like, do I recommend doing a business page over a personal page? And I think that is a highly personal choice. I don't think you have to, because I do think there's a lot of power in sharing on your own personal page, because it's you. You know, it's coming from you, your face, your frequency, your voice, your why. You're showing how you use the patches in the days and why you said yes to it, why you continue to use it. Maybe you share some testimonials, however you want to play with it. And I invite that playfulness as well. It doesn't have to be so serious. But there's so many ways to talk about the patches, and you just talk about the ways that light you up. And then you'll attract the people that resonate with you. So when it comes to, I think there's a lot of power on the personal page. I have a lot of stuff going on there. So at the end of the day, I think it's personal choice. I created the second business page because I want to feel like I can talk about the patches all day long for as long as my heart desires, and not like, because I have other stuff on my personal page, So multiple reasons here. I created it, one, to do that, to be able to blast all day long. Two, to keep me in the energy of this business and nurturing my team, organization, inspiring, showing my team that I'm active, I'm here, showing others that I'm committed, and being in the energy of creation, because I'm learning and I'm studying and I'm creating content and I'm in the energy every day. Three, it's for us to help. I have a lot of people on my team who are just really busy. They got lots going on. They're working full-time jobs, single moms, all of that, and they don't have time to put content together. And so that's my way. I have the time, I have the energy and the inspiration to do it. So that there's that reason. And and one of the questions I know Ilana asked, and she asked, I think she's here. That's awesome. She asked, where do I get my content from? Like, how do I create content? Where does it come from? And for example, if you go on my Instagram site, Activate Your Light X39, I just created a little video today out of inspiration from watching your guys's leadership lab on Monday. I watched it and I was like, oh, I got an inspiration from there. Alex just talked about the Monday and Wednesday live calls and like what she covers. And I just, a couple points from there, I took that and I made a video about it and I respun what she said. And it's just like a recycling of information. So I get my content from, it's great. Our quantum team, shout out to the quantum team. They make these shorts now from these calls on YouTube. So you can even take those shorts and I screen record them on my phone. And if you don't know how to do these things, Google is amazing. Google, how do I screen record something? Like Google and YouTube are amazing. And I just screen record it. And then I can upload it as a reel, create a little nice cover. Maybe we'll do down the line like a social media training. And that's where I get my inspiration from. I get inspiration from the testimonials that I hear from my friends and those on my team. I mostly from learning and diving in. I love to watch David Schmidt's videos. I also go on Instagram and I look at the hashtags LifeWave X39. I see what other people are doing. I'll find some pictures from there, see what words they're using, and then write it in my own way, my own expression. So there's so much opportunity for inspiration on the internet and through your own life. So I hope this kind of helps to answer that. And how do I stay organized? I don't always feel inspired every day to create something new. So when I do have the inspiration to create, I will create a bunch of stuff in one day, let's say, or an afternoon when I got the time, and I have it all saved on my phone, and I make a little folder on my phone called X39, and I pre-make it all, I pre-batch it all. So on the days when I'm kind of like, I don't really feel like creating today, I kind of just want to rest, I already have it set up there, and then I could just pull from that content that I already created. So that's
what kind of folder are you using? I'm sorry, are you using like notes or no? What app?
Yeah. So I actually just use my photo album. So I, you know how you can create a folder on I have an iPhone, so you can create a new album, and then you just organize it that way. So you just add whatever's in your photo album, drop down, add to whatever folder, create a new folder.
Got it.
Yeah. And then another tip, if you're, don't write your content out, like write what you're going to write for your post live on social media, because so many times we put so much effort into it and then something happens and it deletes. I write all of my content and my stuff in my phone on my notes. So then I can just quickly copy and paste it. I have my hashtags already there set up. So I'm not every single time like hashtag X39, hashtag like, but it's already there. I just copy and paste it. I write it all in my notes. So it's there. It's easy to just transfer it all. And also I do have another thing in my notes on my phone where if I hear someone say something really cool about patches or LifeWave, or you say something, or David Schmidt or whatever, I have a whole section on my notes of just paragraphs and different things that I've heard, that I've liked, that I've seen someone else write. And then I also have that to look at as inspiration. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. That is so creative. I love it.
She
Love
she's very talented at kind of what she does, and she's very
it.
oriented. So I think as you speak about that, Melissa, I think it would be worthwhile us kind of one of these upcoming calls is just actually going through your process, right? Because I think you make it seem very easy, but you have a really good structure to it. And like she said, she doesn't create it every day, which is great. Like you can spend an hour one day and batch 10 posts at one time. And she, I know we're learning so much about it by she'll watch a video with David Schmidt and she'll get 3 post ideas from that and just turn around and create them into posts. And then it feeds your team, it feeds yourself most and foremost. But there's so many ways to get content. And I think you've got such great knowledge on this. I think we should just kind of maybe take, 20 minutes next call and just kind of share that and share some of these tools. Because I think there's some tools out there that can really, really help you, especially like a simple one. And I think most people know it, but Canva it's a really simple way to make, social media posts if you don't really even know where to begin, right? So can help you create the reels and all those pieces. So yeah, why don't we plan to do that? And then if anybody has any questions specifically around social media, please just drop them in here, and then we can make sure as we're creating that for you guys that we're getting those answered for you. Okay. And
And I'll say
yeah.
so I create in a different way for me. So I tend to do video a lot, and I'll have the idea of the video and then I just turn it on and just like flat. But the screenshots, the being able to just grab snippets and things from existing videos. Like I had done a video where every week, right? Tonight, tomorrow, or every Monday and Wednesday, I'm doing that whole call, and those are on YouTube. You might just pull out what it is about energy, and just what that little snippet about what I do with energy, and you might grab a couple of stats or something and create that. I mean, I can totally see just endless ideas of what you could create to post in that way. I think that's super cool. I love that. We just have to make sure that she has good service. I know I'm not dissing you, girl. We gotta make sure if you're gonna share screen that we have like a nice clean way to do that so we can really learn from that. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Sure. And Melissa, can you just put the link to that to your Instagram in the chat for everybody, just so they can refer to it? And then again, she's created a lot of that content on there. Share it on your own personal page. Share it with your team, and see if it gives you a little bit of inspiration. Okay.
Questions in that?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's in there.
Ways to reach out.
Yeah. Yes, I think all the questions. Jane had a few questions on. I make a personal page on Facebook. Yes, I think Melissa can answer this, but I think either you could do a personal page, you can do an Instagram page, you can do a TikTok page. And at the end of the day, the reality of it is once you create the content, you can actually put it across all these channels, right? So a reel on Instagram can be a reel on YouTube, and a short on YouTube can be a reel on Instagram or Facebook. And a lot of this stuff can be repurposed. So I'll let Melissa speak on this, but I think when you begin, focus on one platform first. Really feel comfortable with that one, grow that one, and then I think you can kind of branch out. What are your thoughts on that, Melissa?
Was I cutting out? My Wi-Fi bad? No.
No, you're in now. You're good.
Oh no. Yeah, I see. I do focus on the one Instagram. I put a lot of my energy there, but there is an option where when you're posting, you can connect your Facebook and it'll just post on all of it, which makes it easy. So I do recommend just kind of picking one platform and mastering it. It makes it easier. And as for, there's a comment here saying I did and just got a lot of like sexual whatever stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, the internet is filled with all kinds of things. And if I mean, I don't get that stuff just because I've done a lot of work around boundaries and energetics and all of that. And maybe we could talk about that stuff more in the leadership lab, but to really kind of energetically block all of that out. But if that stuff does come through and if I don't make sense right now, just disregard it. But in case that did land, but on a more practical note, if that stuff comes through, just block the person, just block it, cut it out. And like literally you can block that person and report them. So that's my take on that. And then what was the other question, Aaron? Did you have another question?
No, I think that was it. Yeah.
There's one here just asking if you had that, just to reiterate, you have a Facebook page and you have an Instagram page and you have your personal Instagram page as well. You have both, right?
So I have my personal, I have the Instagram Activate Your Light X39, and then I have a Facebook public page of Activate Your Light X39. And then I'll reshare that my stuff to the stories as well, because some people are story watchers on Instagram and Facebook and don't really look at posts, and some people only look at posts. So you kind of get it from all the different sides and angles. So I do have all of it.
Beautiful. I love it. What else we got?
Okay. I had two prospects pull up X39 while we were in our first call. They both asked me if they could just buy it through the eBay site. Do you know if any real action is being taken to stop those sellers? I didn't even know you can buy it on eBay.
You can't, it's illegal. And it's just a never ending process of them being taken down, reported and taken down, reported and taken down. I think if you can work, again, it is an energetic thing too. So to recognize if this is happening to you, that there's an opening within your own, that this is either a fear of yours, or if something that always is happening to you, but it's not happening to other people, there's something there to just kind of work around in your beliefs or in the way that you're positioning X39 as being a rep, a proud brand partner, and that you're educating that person. And of course, you're there to support them and help them to get the product so that they wouldn't go and try to get it cheaper somewhere else. So as you're educating somebody, you might say, this is where you can learn everything to make a decision about the product. And I will help you get the best package, that's going to fit your budget and for what you're looking for. So when can I call you back? Or when do you think you'll be able to have a chance to take a look at it and set up that appointment with them to follow up so that they know that they are being supported by you, and then they wouldn't even think to look outside. That would be something. It's kind of a similar thing. This is a side note when talking about this kind of energetics conversation a little bit is, if you have an expectation or you have a belief somewhere that X39 is expensive, that could leak out in your field to where you will face that people are coming up with that objection. So typically the objections you're getting are something that it's being mirrored to you because it's something that you need to work on in your own belief system. So this is something to work with your sponsor on, and these might be a little higher level conversations that we can have, especially in Leadership Lab as we're supporting team who are coming up with these early rejections and things. But also the natural selling is going to be a really great tool for you guys. On build331.com, I did a 5-part training on soulful selling, and it's all about how to kind of get around all of these things, getting around objections and things because of the way that we work on the front end with dialogue and really getting to know that person and building the relationship, understanding what their needs are, how it's going to affect them, and if they're ready for a change and all of these things, so that when you present it, they're just ready. They're ready to work with you. You've got a relationship with them at this point, and it's just changes the game. Really changes the game in terms of closing that sale, building belief in the business, and doing and working with you moving forward too. So yeah.
Leon just had a question. Melissa, how many hours do you spend on social media, like working on it?
Okay. So a lot of the time that I'm spending is actually mostly, not a lot, I would say some of the time is creating the content. So I like on those days, I'm not on social media when I'm creating the content. So when I am posting, I have it already all set up on those things that I talked about, on my notes, on my photos, photo album folders and all of that. So when it comes time to post, it literally is just like put it out there, type it up, and that could be it. But I do more than that. I personally, I have multiple businesses running on social media, and I'm in the private messages with people. So I have multiple things going on. So I spend a few hours a day on social media, and I weave that in through my day. That does not mean that you have to do that. You can literally just put in 15 minutes a day. And I think it would be also really helpful to also just put a little bit of time in, maybe 5, 10 minutes a day to engage with some of the people on your social media. So you're not just like dumping everything out. You want to start to cultivate some relationships and like their stuff, comment just a little bit each day. It doesn't have to be all day, but that's just another tip. So
Yeah, I think that's actually a really important tip is like you guys can go and start your own personal pages and put stuff up there. But if you're actually not engaging with people, this is part of the quote unquote social media algorithm. If they don't see you engaging in the community or other people, it doesn't get as much traction. So the whole idea is, with your specifically X39 page, if you create one, you could go out and reach out to people that, might be, personal friends already or not personal friends and just comment on their page. And I'm sure if you guys continuously do that, you'll see people might start reaching back out to you. Hey, what is this? Who's commenting on my post? And it's a great way to connect with people that you haven't met before too. So
mhm.
Let me make a
uh
quick
yeah,
comments to Felicia. By all means, when I talk about the energetics and stuff, I want to just be really clear. I'm not saying you have a belief or any issues around cost. I just wanted to say that when people know you're a proud brand partner and that upfront, in most cases they're not going to be looking outside of you to purchase. So it's just a good kind of rule of thumb. But I'm really glad that they did end up coming back to you. And I have had a couple of reps where this has come up a couple of times specifically just for those two people, where it's like, what's going on? They're found it on Amazon for $50. I'm like, yeah, there's 10 patches and somebody opened one of their packages with their little grubby hands and repackaged them and they're trying to sell them to you. You really want that? Yuck. Um, and really, again, just saying upfront when you're sharing with somebody, like, this is what I do. This is part of what I do. And I'm excited to help you to make this decision. I'm so excited I'm doing it myself and I'll help you get the right thing. So I'm going to send you this. When do you think you'll be able to check it out? And I'll follow through with you. And that pretty much takes care of it. Just wanted to close that up. Not
yeah,
throwing you under.
yeah. I think it's the parallel point you can share with people is like that if you're not getting it from the official LifeWave site, they're counterfeit or they could be knocked off, and you're not saving money. Like LifeWave's not discounting their products, so people could sell it on Amazon or eBay. So it's like knockoff shoes or bags. So I think it's an easy sell for them, for you just to make sure that they're buying it from a legit source. So Jane asked a question. I had to pay Facebook. Is that normal? No. Unless you're running ads,
No,
there should be no reason why you're having to pay Facebook. So just maybe look into that or reach out
no,
to. Go ahead.
no, we shouldn't have to pay. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we pay by giving our information. That's the basis. But no, we don't actually give money. No.
Yeah. Yeah, Jane, maybe just reach out to Melissa and she can answer some of those specific social media questions that you might have there just around Facebook. Just pulling up one of our other questions that we had. Um,
Thanks for engaging, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sorry, just pulling this up, guys. I apologize. This is one I think we might have already covered this. Would you please show us how to determine when money is being left on the table
Oh,
in terms of points on your
right.
Yeah, we didn't cover this one.
We have not answered this one. I heard that question come through. I can't remember. I think it was on Facebook that
Yeah.
it was posted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say that money left on the table, it's when I bring in a silver and they're just, they're going to share it with their family or what have you, and they're not really sure if they're going to do anything. I use that terminology. I'm like, I want to make sure you're qualified because we have ways that you can get paid, and I want to make sure you don't leave any money on the table. And that's kind of what I say. And it's kind of like this curiosity. What does that mean? Well, it's basically the points. I want to make sure you stay qualified so that when activity is happening underneath you, which is likely going to happen on this team, then that they are able to hold on to the points so that should they decide to start engaging or they start sending some referrals, and often, we should have that conversation. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that referrals. When that starts to happen, I say, let's have another conversation because you actually have some points accumulating now. And once we engage a little bit more, we'll be able to turn those points into bonuses since they're there. And that's why we don't want to have that dump out and have them miss out on points that were, basically free points for them that we're generating while they were staying qualified. So I hope that answers that. But I do want to talk about referrals really quick. Do you mind if I go ahead and pivot with that?
Yep.
So when I have a new silver that comes in, and again, they're just wanting it to get it started and they want to have their own experience, I'm always breathing into them the idea of talking with other people. Who else do you know that can benefit from this? I mean, who with the whole list of all the things that this can do, who do you know? Have you listened? Are you keeping your ears open? I want to invite you to keep your ears open. And if you are in conversation with somebody, don't try to explain the whole thing. Here's my information. You can either introduce me to them on a three-way text, or you can send them to x39.com. I'm sorry, startx39.com, but make sure you introduce us and let them know that I'm their resource to answer questions so that you don't have to worry about doing the business, quote unquote. But I want you, I can't touch those people without you. And this is what I do. I'm proud of what I do. And I want to help them to make an informed decision if you think that they would maybe benefit. So once that happens, I let them know. If they decide to order, of course, I will let you know. And we will have another conversation if you decide you want to go ahead and, I want to put them underneath you. I want to always go back to that person first. I'm not going to take the sale, but I want to go back to my customer and say, or my silver, that my wholesale brand partner, and give them that opportunity, because then before you know it, they're making commissions, they're making product introduction bonuses, and then I can sit down and say, so let's have another conversation. Let's talk a little bit about where you want to take this. This is already almost paying for your product right now. Would you be interested in talking about that and exploring it a little bit and see if there might be something more here for you? And if not, I'm still more than happy to take these referrals and put them underneath you. And if it gets really out of hand, then I'll keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick questions here.
Oh yeah,
I know.
fine. We don't need to have a hard stop.
Yep. Shanda just said, should we be promoting other patches other than the X39? Or, I know you kind of have a suggestion around that, Alex.
There's no shoulds at all. It's your business. If you want to keep it simple and you want to keep it within the framework of duplication and building a large team, keep it focused on X39. But I think that and I think there's definitely a conversation for X49 because it kind of rounds out the genome reset and the GHK and the AHK, it sort of like rounds it out. And some of the other products, if somebody's still having issues after a little while on X39, I don't introduce it early if it comes up. But certainly, I let people know there are other patches for more specific things, but they were created before X39. I want to keep this as inexpensive and really see if we can knock everything out with one product. Because if you do many products at the same time, you're not going to know which did what, and it's going to be more expensive for you. And should you suddenly not be able to afford, you're going to throw all of it out instead of, keeping the one. So let's keep things simple at first, and then we can start exploring adding other things as needed, as necessary. But I love the other patches. Just so you know, I don't share the other patches. If somebody asks me about them, I know enough to answer questions, but I really don't want to make it difficult for my reps to have to know all these other products, and they can certainly learn about it on our own websites. but I love the other products. Personally, I use the sleep patches. Not that I even need them. I just love melatonin and pineal gland activity. So I want that active. I use the Alavita for the skin, and for also it works in the brain as well. Anything that works on the brain, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. The Eon is amazing for also for stress and for inflammation, and people have inflammation in the brain. And then the glutathione, which is 300% increase in glutathione. It's a lot for somebody who's toxic, but I'm very not toxic, and I do a lot of cleansing and things like that. So for me to add glutathione is like, let's just really get it all out, And so I like that too. So that's my personal story about it. I know Onyx says she doesn't use any of the other patches, and she swears by that. And I think that's fantastic too, to each his own. And but in terms of the business, you want to keep it simple and duplicatable, and you want to make it really easy for your customers to know what is doing what. And so X39 is always the foundation, I would say almost for at least 3 months.
Yep. Thank you.
A long-winded answer, but that's everything.
No, it's great. And again, it's knowing the person that's potentially buying from you. Like anytime, Melissa, I have somebody that's very active or an athlete, we only talk about X39, but then we tell them about the potential of X49, right? And we always suggest just try X39 first. And then if you want to try the X49 in conjunction 2 weeks after, so you can see the difference, they do that. Like one of our friends, we just got on the X39. He's a runner. He's been using the X39. He feels it. He included the X49 this week also, and he's felt a huge difference just in recovery. So they work, but like I think Alex said, keep it simple at the beginning for sure. So one other question here. Do points go away at the end of each year?
I don't know the points don't go away, but there's a certain, I think it's 52 weeks, that beyond the 52 weeks, it doesn't continue. Like it'll drop off the ones from 52 weeks ago, but you're accumulating the new weeks. It's like a window that slides like this. So you're not accumulating like 5 years of points as an in-hour, with 55 points, just collecting millions and millions of points, and then get to re-engage. It'll only be the last 52 months worth that are holding in your bank, if you will.
Leon, if you have people buying retail, but you don't have anyone that you personally sponsored, will you make the retail profit?
Depends on how, yes, you will. Whether they buy it online, yes, you're making the difference between wholesale and retail as retail profit. If you're selling it out of your stock, it depends on how you bought it. If you're buying it at $99, you'll make the $50 difference. And if you are buying it at $83 with a bigger pack like the diamond or with a maintenance kit, then you're going to make that difference instead. But you're always selling at the same price, $149.95. We never compete with LifeWave on the retail price.
Right. Guys, I think that's it. We've kind of gone through.
There was one other thing here. I never heard of the points. I think now you get it. So the points are in number 2, the binary commissions are based in points. Every product has a point value to it. And I go through this on the very next call, very briefly. The products themselves, if somebody buys, has a point value, and the kits, when they buy a silver kit or a gold kit or diamond kit, they have a certain point value also. The diamond kit, I think it gives you 610 up front and then 110 for 3 months. So it spaces it out a little bit, so you don't have to keep qualifying or something like that. So the points will vary depending on the product, how it's purchased, but every product moved has points, and we get paid on points as well as, of course, those the initial bonuses, the linear pay. So I'll go through that at the end of the next call.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you everybody that put comments, asked the questions tonight. It really is it's super helpful for everybody. Just because everyone here is learning from each other. And when you guys put the comments in the chat, it really engages the conversation. So I'm really grateful for everyone who put those comments out there tonight. And thank you to Alex and Melissa. I really appreciate you guys holding it down tonight. Such wisdom. So again, if you have anybody tonight that you can bring, or just even if you want to join yourself, Alex is going to be on the next call in basically 10 minutes. So we're going to jump off here, give her a little bit of a break. And then, if you have anybody that's interested, and you really want them to understand X39 and even a little bit about the business part, make sure they jump onto tonight's call. Okay. And then the chat there, Melissa's Instagram is there. Check it out. Send her a DM. If you guys have any questions about that, she will be more than happy to answer any questions.
There's a question here. Where's Alex's stuff? I don't do social.
She will be. She will
I'm
be
so
soon.
sorry.
She will be
No,
soon. She will be
I
soon.
will be soon. Yes, I do YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm more about doing YouTube. My YouTube channel is just starting to kind of go. But it's not specifically the X39. However, there's going to be a lot more X39 in there. So you can find my YouTube channel, Alex Sabatelli Rager. And then on social right now, I do have an Instagram. Haven't posted anything on it in years. I have Facebook personal page, which I sparsely put out some memes. Again, not about X39. I'm just really weird about it at social, but I'll get better. But I do have a business page that I activate every once in a while. And that will become more active for sure. So as I'm doing more YouTubes and more around X39, I will be putting more on my Facebook page. So by all means, you can look for that too. It's under my name. And yeah, that's why I've got Melissa on the team. We make a good pair.
Yeah. For a good balance.
That would be our lesson, is how to repurpose content, Alex.
How to
You've got
repurpose.
great content, and we'll show you how to repurpose it.
Yep. And in our Facebook group here for Quantum Team, you definitely want to make sure you're subscribed to that, because you'll see all the replays, all of these. You can find snippets in so many different places from that site. So make sure you do subscribe and look at the playlists to find all kinds of content in there, and trainings from this as well, back trainings from this. So yeah, just had to say it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Everyone being here. Have a great night.
Erin, you're beautiful.
We love Erin. Thank you. Bravo.
Erin.
All right. All right, I'm going to stop video. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.